Hello, hello, hello there, circles. It's something that you wouldn't expect to have so much of in a game that's all about squares. I'm not kidding. This is a game about squares, but you still have a buttload of circles. So here is 10 circles right here. We're going to be going through each of them in this video today, so that way you can build them later on if you want to build stuff like a tower or so on and so forth in your Minecraft world. Starting off with smaller ones, you can go with a 3 by 1 by 3, or commonly known as a 1, 2, 3 block radius. And the way that the circles are calculated is by the radius from their center point, including that point, the amount of blocks it takes to get to the outside. So this can also be seen in this one as 3 blocks. You just have 3 blocks, 1 block, 3 blocks, 1 block, 3 blocks, 1 block, 3 blocks, 1 block, and then you have a circle. This is really the smallest one, it's the simplest one. As you can see as we zoom out, it is a circle. It is also the one that I used in this build, and this build turned out pretty good. The next biggest one, we have to fly over to this area, which has a bunch of bigger ones, and this one is a 4 by 1, basically the same thing, but you just have 4 blocks instead of 3 blocks. I'm not going to get into that. Anyway, after that, let's see, what's the next smallest one? You know what, let's just go this way. After that, we have a simple one where you have 3 blocks, then 2 blocks, then 1 block, and then you have 2 blocks, then 3 blocks, then 2 blocks, then 1 block, and so on and so forth, and you just do this in a loop. Here you go if you want to take a screenshot. Then we have this one, which is the same thing, except it's 5 blocks on this side, and there's 2 single blocks. Now, this is going to be a repeating pattern where we have repeating block parts, and it's part of how you get massive circles like this. That one I struggled with a lot. It took me tearing it down and redoing it 5 times to be able to get it right. That's why this video is 10 circles instead of 20. Anyway, after that we have this one, and yeah, you can guess it. There's 2 of the 2 blocks instead of just 1. That's the biggest difference between these two. In fact, it's the only difference. And you can see how much bigger this makes it just by adding 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. By adding 16 blocks to a circle, you get it to be so much bigger and so much more circular. And you can see that, look, the shadows, they actually form a circle. Anyway, this one is funnier because I just kind of abandoned the, okay, we scale it up, we scale out these amounts. I went 3 blocks, and 2 blocks, and 2 blocks, and 1 block, and 1 block, and 2 blocks, and 2 blocks, and 3 blocks. So it's more of a combination hybrid between this circle and this circle. And that's how you create this circle. And you, fun fact, can make circles as big as you want just by hybriding all the other ones that you make. In fact, the only circles that you really need to know to be able to mass produce them is this circle, this circle, this circle, and this circle, which are the first 4 that I built. And if you just look at the rules between them, you're able to create any circle that you want. Anyway, now let's get on to the largest circle, the main event, the main attraction, and you can see it is really, really big. You can fit a pretty big base in this. I think I might build something with this big of a circle sometime. But what this is it is 7 blocks. And then 3 blocks, and 3 blocks, and 2 blocks, and 2 blocks, and so on and so forth, all around the circle. And so here you go, just a quick screenshot, if you'd like it. Then we get back to the more wonky circles. This one isn't exactly looking like a circle, but here, if I zoom out a whole lot, you can see it starts to become a circle. You can see it now, right? On top of that, this one also works really well with bases because it has this little outfit right here that you can use as very clear center line gates or something if you want to have a build like that. Then we have this one, pretty simple, same old, except this is 9 blocks. That's right, for this one you just gotta increase the longest side to 9, and then have the 2 by 1 by 1 by 2 by 2 sort of sides stuff. Then this one is back to simple stuff with 5 by 1 by 1 by 1 by 1, and so on and so forth. And by 1 I mean you only have 1 of each part per segment. The segment is from sort of this block right here all the way over to about this block, yeah. And you just repeat these segments all the way through the bit, and then for all circles, they're built out of those segments. They aren't half, they aren't quarters, they're just from this point until it repeats. From any point until it repeats, and that's the segments of a circle. Anyway, there you go, that's 10 circles, that's enough of me talking, and so as I zoom out, not exactly zoom out, but as I fly up and let you get a better screenshot of all of them, so there we go. If you want to take a screenshot now, you can have a screenshot now, and that's 10 circles. And hey, it kind of looks like bubbles being blown into the sky. Anyway, have a good day. Thanks for watching to the end. If you watched to this point, I feel like you might like this video right here. It is on that build right behind me. And hey, if you like these videos, then maybe you can check out all the other videos on the channel. And if you like those, then hey, maybe subscribe. And don't forget to like the video so that way it doesn't completely fail. Anyway, have a good day. Thanks for watching. See you later. Goodbye. I said goodbye. Why don't my hands work in this?